Hello everyone, and welcome to Divine. Hello everyone, and welcome to Divine Debut. This is Kathy speaking. Welcome to your Astro update. We're looking at the stars, and obviously, through looking at the stars, we're reading the energies and the environment that we're in. Obviously, we are reading the collective energies. Your chart would be different. It won't look as the chart that I've got on your screens, as I've got 0 Aries here. So take the messages as, because we are all part of the collective, right? For those of you that are more familiar with the astrology and roughly in which area of life, let's say, Capricorn is, okay? Because obviously if you're a rising Capricorn, then rising or even sun Capricorn, then you would know that, this stellium of planets, Juno, Mercury, Pluto, and Venus, and Mars, are all in your first house. So you would turn the dial, let's say, and put Capricorn here, and therefore Aquarius would be your second house, and so on and so forth. Okay, that's more of a personal reading. Here we're reading the collective energies, and obviously if you know your own chart, you would know, as I said, in which area of life, the planets are moving through for you personally. So what's been going on in the astrology recently, what are the most important things to note, is that Mars has now entered Capricorn, where it is exalted. It's very strong in Capricorn. Okay, we've had Pluto and Venus in Capricorn. Venus has been retrograding in Capricorn for the last 40 days. Now Venus has stationed, she's almost going to turn direct in about 24 hours from when I'm doing this. So you're going to have this reading today at some point. So know that Venus is stationing direct, which is a big deal. We know that she's actually stopped right now. You could see the little sign here saying retrograde. So the 11th degree of Capricorn, where is that for you in your personal chart? Where is Capricorn in your own birth chart? Let's say if Capricorn were to be in your 5th house or your 7th house, that speaks to relationships, right? So Venus, we know, also speaks to money, not only relationships, speaks to values, what we love. Venus could be a project for you, for instance. It could be in relation to your love of creation. So what you love to do, what tickles your fancy is Venus. What makes you feel good? And we know Venus, which rules Taurus as well as Libra. It's obviously very important for those archetypes, for those signs. And we know Venus retrograding in Capricorn has finished up with an 8-year cycle, and she's begun a new cycle. She's actually ready to come out of the womb. She's being rebirthed. She's becoming the morning star, so you can get to see her physically. If you get out there in the morning, early morning, before sunrise, you could see Venus up there as the morning star. So make a wish. I'm going to say we're a couple of days, 2-3 days away from a new moon in Aquarius, which we know Aquarius rules wishes and dreams. And because Venus is restarting, and she's been doing things pertaining to past matters, and she's been touching on Pluto, which is very transformational. So lots of changes. Pluto can speak to riches, abundance, but also death and, changes, leaving something behind. Something, is it a relationship? Is it a partnership? Is it a project? What is it that you're transforming in your life and starting a new cycle? We know Venus on Pluto can be very much about the alchemist, and that's today's message with the messenger is here. The alchemy, the ability to be the alchemist and turn lead into gold, right? So it's all about magic. It's all about magic, and with Mars having ingressed into Capricorn, where he's very strong, we know that Venus and Mars, being the lovers of the zodiac, they're coming together. The next couple of months, they will be moving together through Capricorn and Aquarius, and then towards Pisces, where we're going to have a lot of magic playing out for sure, as Venus will connect with Jupiter and Neptune. That's a couple of months, 2-3 months down the track. So we've got a lot of beautiful energies coming up, as all the planets will be direct. As you can see here, Venus, still for another 24 hours roughly as I'm doing this, is still retrograde, but she's coming out of her retrograde, coming out of her transformation, whatever she's transformed for you. And Mercury being retrograde as well, as he's coming out of retrograde very soon. So at the beginning of February, on the 3rd or 4th, depending on where you are. And Mercury had ingressed into Aquarius, and obviously he's moved back because he's retrograding. Coming back, he's touching on Pluto. And this is, I mean, both Mercury and Venus have connected with Pluto, are connecting with Pluto 3 times. Those of you that are on Patreon, I've given you the times, the timelines of when those important dates are playing out of, you know, Venus on Pluto. She's ready. She's going to turn direct now, and she's going to touch on Pluto one more time. That's when we will see the outcome of what this alchemy is about, right? And also with Mercury, who's the communicator, he's also the trickster. We can also, I suppose, call him an alchemist as well, as he's part of this transformation, as he's connecting with Pluto 3 times as well. So he's digging up anything that was hidden, anything that was secretive. Remember that Mercury has got the ability to move through the higher realms and the lower realms. And that's why Mercury, depending on which archetype, which energy, which frequency he's working towards or working through, he can take on, obviously, that Plutonian dark energy. So, but also can dig up things that have been hidden, dark, and sort of taboos. Those conversations that were taboo. Anything to do with Pluto, and Pluto does speak to poison. It speaks to also medicine. And we know that with what's been going on in the world with the pandemic and all the information that's been hidden from humanity, all the lies and the tricks. We've had the trickster here playing very, very hard games. Mercury has had to grow, mature, and Mercury is very childish, remember, and what goes on obviously around us in our environment obviously affects us on a very deep level. We've had to dig deep, maybe within our own soul, our own psyche, our fears. What is hidden there that we did not want to touch on, we did not want to look at? And of course, Venus is in the picture here as well. So it's got to do with our values, our self-worth. What is it that we love? Who is it that we love? Who is it that we've been connecting with? What kind of a dark chapter have we been moving through? And we know that a lot is coming up and out from the darkness of Pluto, as Uranus has recently turned direct as well. Uranus in Taurus, which Taurus is a Venus-ruled sign. And as you can see here, we've got Venus stationed now at the 11th degree, trining over to Uranus, practically at the 11th degree. So we're going to have many surprises, many shocking revelations, but even if it's something shocking, it's something that it's some sort of a breakthrough pertaining to what it is that we love. If we've been in a situation where we've been stuck, we haven't been able to move, that's the fixed sign energies which we've been working through the whole of 2021, and moving into 2022, which is Saturn squaring over to Uranus. Remember, Uranus in Taurus, Taurus is fixed earth. And um, the energy of Taurus is, I'm comfortable where I am. Those changes are not easy for me. We've all got Taurus somewhere in our chart. But Uranus is shaking things up. Taurus is our resources, it's our food, it's that beautiful perfume. It's what makes us feel happy, what makes us feel loved, what makes us feel connected, right? And remember, Taurus is earth. It's all about building, being resourceful, feeling abundant. But Uranus is shaking things up. Uranus is the awakener, everyone. So if we've been in a situation where we haven't felt secure, we haven't felt that we've been looked after, is it a relationship? Is it a family issue? Is it a work, a job prospect? What is it for you? Where is Taurus in your chart? Uranus is going to break free from a dilemma. Maybe it's been all about choices. I mean, we have been dealing the whole of, the last 18 months with the North Node in Gemini. So a dilemma, needing to make a choice, needing to communicate, to figure out, to work towards, to collaborate with others. And Venus and Uranus are trining for quite some time, as Venus is stopped in the sky till she starts to move away and break away from this trine. And this is beautiful. I mean, it's tower moments. It's a sense of awareness that's coming to us. Maybe it's something that we couldn't see before, or something that we were scared to look into before because of Pluto. Mars, having entered Capricorn, is giving us that vitality, that energy, that courage to move forward, to instigate change. I mean, Capricorn is cardinal earth, so it's all about taking the initiative, being powerful, being mature, having the guts to connect, to take pride in, to move towards. What is it that we love? Is it that relationship? Is it something in relation to secretive relationships with Pluto, Venus, and Mars, who were the lovers in mythology, and Mercury here retrograding, having to mature? Or maybe there's a situation for you where you've got children. There's children within this story, in your story. Okay, and that's where maybe decisions are very difficult. Mars now is very powerful. He's going to take action. He's the fire that's lit beneath us. And I wanted also to mention very importantly that Juno, the asteroid of commitment and marriage, is also in the party. Now, I haven't got Vesta here, the symbol of Vesta. Vesta is all about what is it that makes us feel happy within our home, within our hearth. Vesta is very loving, very nurturing, very pure energy. Again, she's the hearth, the fire, the flame that burns within our heart, within our homes, within our environment. And she does speak to our investments. What have we been invested in? Because Vesta is here also. Those of you that are on Patreon, I have promised you a video on the goddesses, the asteroids, which is Juno, Vesta, and also some more asteroids. I'm still gathering information on that, but I will get that out to you soon. So Juno being here, it does speak to what have we been invested in? What have we been in a relationship where the other person has not been invested? Well, that's when we will be letting go of that relation, that commitment, whatever that is for you. And Mercury turning direct 3rd or 4th of February. Then we're going to have all the planets direct, which is all about, it's all forward momentum. It's all about moving forward. And it's very fated time as we see the North Node is trining over at the 29th degree. So it's on, this trine is with Juno, with Mercury, with Pluto, and of course, Venus and Mars will pass over these degrees. Now, Mars is also going to follow in Venus's tracks. Remember, Venus retrograded at the 26th, 27th degree as she had passed over Pluto. Um, this is early December last year. So she's covering her tracks now as she's turning direct. She'll be revisiting the narrative, what was going on for you and in your own personal life, and in which area of life was this happening for you. Venus is sort of moving direct now, so we've sort of seen what needs to transform, what needs to change, and it's all about taking action towards that now. Being the elder, we're wiser now. This is Capricorn. Capricorn is also building. It's building on a very deep, fundamental platform. Something new is beginning in our life. So Mars will also follow in the tracks of Venus. But this is very powerful, everyone. As you know, both Venus and Mars, they're going to connect with Pluto at the 27th degree. So I do give you the dates and all that on Patreon, but I don't want to go in too much information here, as it takes quite some time to look at everything at with the degrees, the dates and everything. But it is a very important time. That's what I wanted to let you know at this point. Now, of course, the sun moving through Aquarius, which Aquarius is also Saturn ruled and Uranus ruled. The sun is coming up to Saturn. Now, Saturn can be restrictive, but remember, he's not as heavy in Aquarius as he is in Capricorn. He's more about, how I see it. It's like holding part of the old, which is Saturn, and, the old systems, the old way of doing things. And of course, on a collective scale, it does speak to the restrictions of humanity, of our freedoms. Okay? So Saturn, because he rules Capricorn, of course, as well, he can speak to building on larger groups of people, friendships. We know that there's been so much segregation and a splitting up of people, of relationships, of mother-child relationships. Our relationships have gone through such testing with Saturn squaring over to Uranus. Again, the fundamental, the old ways of doing things, and Uranus, that futuristic way, that scientific, new age way of doing things. And remember that this is a battle. It's a battle of the gods. It's like we're revisiting the mythology where Saturn also took over. He took the throne from his father Uranus, and then came the karma, his karma, where later on down the track he was thrown off the throne, and his son Jupiter took the power from him. So there's a lot of power struggles connecting to generational issues, fundamental issues, um, issues with our society, okay, because we know on a collective scale it's been it's been a tug of war. What do we do? Do we go with the old way that things used to be done, or do we need to be open-minded, be intelligent, which is Uranus, and sort of be also open, have our antennas open to what's coming in, what information, what ingenious thoughts, what scientific breakthroughs are coming in. Look at Uranus with his antennas. So we need both. And the sun coming up to Saturn, the sun which speaks to, the sun is not in a strong position here because the sun is the ruling planet of Leo. So the sun is in full here, but it's also bringing still, it's bringing a sense of power, vitality, risk-taking. Think of all the archetype of Leo. That's what the sun holds within it. It can also speak to a sense of ego, leadership, courage, but there's a sense of camaraderie with the sun moving through Aquarius, a sense of getting detached, needing to be free, overcoming the limitations of Saturn, the fear, because the sun will bring the light towards to light up anything that's been dark, which is Saturn. And if you look at the glyph of Saturn, it's like a ship, isn't it? It's like a ship. It's like needing to leave, and there's a cross on it as well, as you could see. Trusting, needing to leave, to transition from something that we were stuck with, stuck in the past with, something that felt heavy for us, we're needing to break free from. And of course, this is all about a group effort, but also the sun. The sun can speak to a leader, maybe a possible king, or someone who's like the archetype of, leadership, the king, whoever this is for you in your own life. Having the power, having that strength to be able to create a foundation where there is supportive energies, Aquarius, because Aquarius is all about humanitarianism. It's about the people. It's about having that higher perspective of what's happening in our 3D realm, in our 3D lives. And as the sun will conjoin with Saturn, as you could see, because Saturn gets a bad rap always, most of the times. Remember that all archetypes have got positive and negative frequencies. Now, some may have more negative than positive, surely, but Saturn also is a sense of reward. Now, as the sun conjoins with Saturn, even from now, we could say, because as you could see, Uranus is at practically 11 degrees. This is bringing up this square of Saturn and Uranus that was going on for the whole of 2021. So we could see that obviously the sun is squaring over to Uranus. And I feel that this is either information coming in pertaining to this tug of war, this war of the old conservative, governmental, restrictive mandates, the narrative of the world leaders, people in powers of position, in the power of positions that are able to limit our sense of freedom, whatever that is, and squaring over to Uranus, which remember, Uranus is also the ruling planet of Aquarius, and Aquarius it's the masses. It's the way we communicate. It's social media. We know that there's been limiting ability to speak one's mind, one's truth. And because the sun also possibly brings a sense of healing and truths, as remember, we're going to have a new moon, which is going to be on Saturn. That's new beginnings, and it's got to do with revelations pertaining to freedoms. Revolutionary energies are playing out, very much so, on many, many levels. But for me, I mean, the sun on Saturn can also speak to the ability for two strong archetypes, which is Saturn and the sun, coming together. So the darkness and the light coming together to birth something new. We can also see here that the sun is squaring over to Hygeia in Scorpio. I don't know what's been going on for you with this past couple of weeks. I would say there's been a lot of things playing out pertaining to health. Okay, Hygeia is the asteroid of health. Scorpio is poison, but also healing. I have seen myself a lot of people going through drastic issues pertaining to their health. We know that the variant Omicron, they say, has been very, very contagious, and it's sort of sweeping through humanity. But they also say that it's not something that could be as harsh as what the Delta variant was. But we see that the square, even though it's an uncomfortable aspect, the sun does speak to healing. And with that square, it's like we're turning a corner where matters of health are concerned. Also, secrets, hidden information pertaining to health issues, health subjects, subjects pertaining to medicines, poisons, toxins, all these things are Scorpio, the forbidden. And the fact that the sun is squaring over to Hygeia, it's like we're needing to see some sort of a truth pertaining to new ways, scientific ways of doing medicine, health, needing to see the truth, needing to consider what's going on in humanity with humanity. The sun is also squaring over to Uranus, and that's, Taurus is the physical body as well. And we've got the nodes now that have shifted recently, North Node in Taurus, South Node in Scorpio. So Hygeia moving through Scorpio, and I've noticed in a few people's charts that those people that have had Hygeia transiting through a house of the physical body, they've gone through a chapter in their lives where their health has been challenged. But also because the T-square, I mean, the focal point is on the sun, this is needing to find new ways to be intelligent, to figure things out, to even rebel against anything that is maybe unhealthy or anything that speaks to toxins and poisons, right? And the sun obviously brings healing, but we're turning a corner. And we know that there's a few countries now that are passing through the final stage of having their freedoms or not. Some countries being more strict and more limiting. The story continues. Okay, and remember that the sun is squaring over to Uranus now. So we're going to have revelations pertaining to the limitations of the people, people's freedom, people's ability to see the truth. Remember that Neptune is also still in Pisces, which does speak to confusion, illusion, lies, deception. Jupiter is heading towards Neptune. This is either Jupiter in Pisces is very strong, as I've spoken to you in the past, telling you that Jupiter in Pisces is very spiritual, but it's also a lot of magic. It's the ability to discern, okay, what is clear and what is not, what is truth, what is not, what is restricting our freedoms. Our beliefs are also, have been, I should say, challenged. As we know, Jupiter does speak to religion as it rules the ninth house. So our beliefs have been going through much change as well. Now, Jupiter can expand on the illusion, but can also bring truth. It can go either way, and it will work both ways for each of us on our own personal journey. Jupiter is trining over to Hygeia, which is a very positive note as well. Love to see that. Now, I was talking about the nodes as there's a trine towards the North Node, and the North Node is positive, it is fated. So, whatever is transforming up here, whatever we are shedding, letting go of, or restarting, or is being rebirthed, is very fated. And there's a sextile over to the South Node. A sextile is the cosmic energy, the cosmic help coming through, but we need to take action to discern, shed, let go of anything that is karmic that hasn't been working for us. And that could speak to fears, because Scorpio is fears. Now, Scorpio also speaks to poisons, but also Neptune. Neptune also speaks to Neptune in Pisces. Pisces can speak to medicines as well, a sense of feeling confused about which medicines to take, which route to take, which road to take. Remember, Pisces can speak to karma. It's the 12th house. It's endings. It's the house of spirituality and the divine, but it's also the house of compassion, unconditional love, as well as a sense of imprisonment. Remember, the 12th house rules hospitals, jails, mental asylums. And God knows we've, almost gone off our rocker. Okay, almost losing it. What's real? What is, do we need to leave those old beliefs? As the South Node has been transiting through Sagittarius for the past year and a half. Now there's a different story that's starting to grow, to build. Okay, and this is potentially that many of us are leaving anything that is fear-based, toxic, dark. And remember that Taurus is our values. It's us being able to stand strong, know our worth, know that we are resourceful, that the power is within us. The power is through love, through Venus, which Venus, yes, can speak to our securities, financial as well. It's a very powerful time, everyone, as Mars and Venus are starting to conjoin and they're trining over to Uranus. So this is us making the change. This is us taking a risk and doing things differently. Where we've been stuck, it's time to have a look at that, have a wider perspective, be intelligent. As I said, open up our antennas and let go of situations that did not give us a sense of security. Now, what else is going on? We've got the sun sextiling over to Chiron, and that is beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. This is that open wound. So the sun is bringing a sense of clarity and help, right? It's health. I mean, the sun is the heart, It's also the ego to be able, and the identity, having that strength to overcome any limitations pertaining to anything that was unhealthy, an open wound that we've been carrying, that humanity has been carrying, pertaining to what is Aries. Aries is ruled by Mars. And as you can see here, Chiron is squaring over to Mars and Venus. So is this your relationships? Is this, what kind of a wound are you carrying pertaining to cardinal fire? And that's instigating, that's like being the fool, taking that risk, taking that journey, beginning something new, and knowing that we are looked after, knowing that we will find that resolution or that solution on this journey. And of course, Chiron being the medicine man, and the sun does speak to healing, this is very positive. So the celestial help is here. What are we going to do about it? Are we just going to sit on the couch and do nothing? Well, that's not going to help. We need to actually be the fool. Take that journey, take that risk, find the solution to resolve anything that's been holding us back. Now we can also see here that Hygeia is also sextiling over to Venus. So Hygeia can speak not only to physical health but also psychological health, overcoming any fears pertaining to intimacy, having the ability to see through the darkness, any unhealthy relationships as well. We've got the ability to see of any deception. Scorpio can be very deceptive. This is what we're needing to let go of. So the celestial help is here with the sextile, okay, and Venus being stationed here, ready to go through a new beginning to bring in healthy relationships, healthy situations pertaining to our values, what we love, healthy work. I mean, if you're in a job where you're feeling like you're dragging your feet every day, that's not going to do you any good psychologically, because Hygeia is also our psychological health. It's not only our physical health. Remember, a healthy mind leads to a healthy body, and the other way around. So healthy relationships bring a healthy attitude, a healthy environment into our lives, a healthy work environment, things being on the up and up and not pertaining to deception, darkness, and fears. Okay, so we're going through a lot of healthy transformations in our lives. So anything that has been toxic and unhealthy for us, physically, mentally, emotionally, it's a time to let that go. Why? We're having a new moon in Aquarius. Remember, Aquarius is, I'm going to detach. I'll see things from a different perspective. I step out of the story, the narrative, and I have that detached ability to see things from a higher perspective. You're in a relationship where there's no freedom. The ability to speak freely, the ability to feel free, the ability to go out with your friends. Okay, that is unhealthy. If you're in a relationship such as that, it's doomed. Okay, taking that path, there's going to be an unhealthy chapter that you'll be facing. It's time to look into our personal, physical situations. Where are we? Are we happy in our own skin? Are we happy in our environment? Because where there is health, there's also growth. Where there is security, emotional, financial, there's always growth. Where there is toxic energies, frequencies, this is a time to let go. Now, Mars is also going to come up to square Chiron in Aries. Remember, Mars rules Aries. So this will be the courage to look at things and resolve things that have kept us from being able to go on that journey. And that's a metaphorical journey, of course. For many of us, it's a journey which Aries, right? Aries, the ram, the gutsy, the courageous, that goes head in first, that takes action. It's fire, it's desire. Without energy, without the ability to move forward through action, because that's what Mars is, through desire. Where there's no desire, there is nothing you can build on. And that goes towards our relationships, our lives in general. Okay, so that will be playing out in the next few days. And we know that a square 90 degrees it's a corner that we are turning. Getting uncomfortable helps us take action. When we're too comfortable and we do nothing, there's stalemate, and that's not healthy. That will happen in about 10 days from now. So roughly coming up to the 10th of January, we'll also have Mars trining over to Uranus, everyone. So that courage to move forward, to connect, as Mars will be coming up to roughly the 10th degree. And Venus together, they'll be together. This is like the ability to work together. Venus and Mars is like a team effort. It's what we love, and it's the action and the courage and the ability to move forward, to make things happen. That's what it's all about. And we know Venus and Mars will be fluttering, playing around. They'll be chasing each other. They'll be one moment Venus is leading, then Mars will take over. It's like a group effort, but it's also like a teasing. It's like a teaser where I feel they'll be taking a couple of steps forward, then a step back, then again, the courage, the fire within us, that flame. And it does speak to coming together. Obviously, Venus and Mars, the lovers of the zodiac. And as mythology goes, they did connect. But, of course, we know that Venus, being in Capricorn, is all about maturity. Okay, and Venus is asking for something stable and long-term. Mars is the divine masculine energy, which is getting more courageous and more action-orientated towards connecting with Venus. So it's like a promise. Now this could relate for you in career, or in your goals, or what you aspire to create. Okay? And whatever it is that we're creating now could possibly be something long term, because they are in the sign of Capricorn. And it does ask for maturity. It does ask for guts. It does ask for leadership. But remember, Capricorn is like the emperor in the tarot, where he's got a lot on his plate, but he obviously has a personal life. So whatever he hasn't been able to create, let's say you've been dealing with, in your life, it's been all about career and your goals and your aspirations, and love has been put on the back burner. Well, love is now at the forefront, and it will be shown to us. Okay, the ability to connect, and not only in romantic relationships, but also friendships, with large groups of people, with people that are in our periphery, where we've got the same goals. Okay, so it's like a sense of everyone as individuals, we're all powering up to be part of the collective, but also to take that action towards our own environment. So that Pluto energy is all about bringing in the riches in our lives, in whatever it is that's finished, run its course. It's time to start new chapters. Okay, and Pluto does give us a plethora of abundance. Pluto, plutocracy. This is also about those people in positions of power where they're also going through these energies. And we know that there is transformation because a lot is being shown with Mercury there. On top of Pluto, it's all about information, things that have been hidden. Who's got the money now? Where is all that Pluto, that abundance? Where is it going? Is it going to the people? Because Pluto is also the people, but it's also Pluto in Capricorn is the plutocracy. It's the rich and the powerful. And this is what is being changed right now. Remember that it's all about the patriarchy. This is also what is changing. And we know that the matriarchy is coming in a step at a time. The power is leaving the patriarchal system, and there is a birthing of a new matriarchal system, and that is of the divine feminine becoming all the more powerful as we evolve, as humanity evolves, as the world evolves, and our own personal lives evolve. So I think that's what I have for you, dear friends, regarding the new moon in Aquarius. As I said, we're having a new moon at the 12th degree. Those of you on Patreon, obviously, you will get all the details. We'll be looking at that much closer. So do consider joining us on Patreon if you are not on there. And the new moon on Saturn will be, as I said, squaring Uranus. This could be potential surprises because a new moon obviously is a new beginning. It's a new moon where relationships, politics, politicians, the ability to feel free. It does speak to democracy as well. So fairness amongst the people of the world, fairness amongst the politicians of the world and humanity. Truths will be shown to us as a new moon in Aquarius. This is a lot of conversations back and forth. It's social media. It's our social groups and associations that we deal with. It's the people coming together. The power is within the people as Uranus has turned direct. So we're going to see a lot of revelations, a lot of tower moments that will be revealing things that have been hidden and things that are on the way to change, because there is a revolution that we are dealing with. And remember, we have not finished with this Uranus-Saturn square, as we'll be revisiting these energies again towards, the third part of the year. So from roughly, I would say August, September, October, we'll be revisiting that square of Saturn and Uranus. And I feel that will be a very important time for the world, collectively as well as personally. Right now, with the planets that will be moving direct, it's all about getting out there, feeling a sense of freedom as we're seeing sort of, countries opening up. Okay, I do feel that there's going to be a lot of changes, a lot of things happening. We've got eclipses coming up soon. We're already in the eclipse energies of Taurus and Scorpio. Where is Taurus and Scorpio for you? In which area of life? In your own personal life. That's where the eclipses will be happening. We'll be having lots of changes, fundamental changes, lots to do with our economy, our financial situations. That's where the nodes are. They're in the axis of finances, the economy, our money, our resources. Where is the Pluto? Where are the riches that come from other sources? Hygeia is trying to heal that area of the chart, of the horoscope. Okay, things need to be healed because there's been a great sense of unjust situations playing out in the world. And obviously, it's a domino effect. We've all felt it. Some of us more, others of us less. And it'll be very interesting as Mars and Venus will be transiting through Capricorn and entering Aquarius. Okay, so we've got really important times ahead of us. Stay tuned. Thank you so much for joining me. I will be back with more. Have a lovely weekend. Remember to check that you are subscribed and that you are receiving the notifications from Divine Debut. Check on that little notification bell that it's pressed, because there's been a lot of people saying that they do not get the notifications from Divine Debut. And with that, I will close this horoscope. Thank you so much, everyone. Love and light. Wishing you well. Talk to you soon. Ta-da.